What's up, guys? Kellen McKay here, aka HVAC Millionaire, right here on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, hit the like button, leave me a comment below. Today I want to talk about stress, because I think stress can be, you can get into this pattern where you're actually addicted to the stress. And it has a lot to do with just being busy and doing busy work, things that are not moving the needle in your business, things that just don't really matter, but you tend to focus on those things to fill up your time during the day, which leaves very little to no time to work on the actual things that do make a difference in the business. So there is a certain amount of stress that is actually a good stress. And so stress is a part of our lives, and it's okay to have some stress, but there's actually, if you were to look at stress on a curve, there's a certain amount of stress that's, let's say this is the amount of stress that we actually need to move forward. So we have to put some kind of pressure on ourselves in order to do the things we need to do in our business and our life. Otherwise, things don't get done. So there is a certain amount of good stress that does happen, that needs to happen in order for things to move forward. Otherwise, we don't move forward. We just stay stuck in limbo or stuck in the rat race or on the hamster wheel. Like no matter how much more effort we put into things, we're just not actually moving the needle. So there has to be some stress, but the problem is we tend to go above this line. And when we do go above this line, normally what happens is some kind of a crash at some point. And that crash could come in the physical form that actually just knocks you down, where you just cannot do anymore. You either have like a panic attack or some type of ailment that starts happening with your body. Your systems, different systems within your body can start shutting down because you've just been under so much stress for too long. And I think this is it's like an accumulation effect. Some of you guys who understand, like, because we're in the heating and air conditioning business, you understand like this accumulation of carbon monoxide in somebody's bloodstream. So if somebody lives in a home with a cracked heat exchanger and for long periods of time, that can actually build up in their bloodstream, making them incredibly sick. Well, it's kind of the same way with stress. It can continue to build up, and it's normally happens with high performers, with people who are just striving to do more, to get more. It can happen often in the form of like a panic attack. A lot of times it happens with a panic attack. I've had a couple of panic attacks. And I think the reason that I had them, I haven't had one for a long time, but in 2019, when the pandemic happened, and then going into 2020, there was just uncertainty from day to day. Excuse me. We didn't know what was going to happen from day to day. Like one day the restaurants are open, the next day they're all closed. And so thankfully, our industry was deemed essential and we were allowed to continue to work. But at the same time, there was a lot of people who were scared out of their minds and did not want us to be in their home. So it was still a struggle to get calls in our area here in the Midwest. And past that, out of, I don't know how many team members we had at the time, 16 or 17, what kept happening is somebody would get sick. And when that happened, they'd need a week or two off. And we didn't know what to do, so we just paid for their time off, like vacation time, whether they had it or not. I didn't want them to suffer because of what they were going through, whether that was right or wrong for the business. I knew it was right in my heart for the people that I cared about, which were my team members. And, that's like giving a 2-week vacation or more, because some people would get sick and then come back for 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 months, and then they get it again and need another 2 weeks off. And during that time, my business just paid for their time off. So imagine if you had to pay, give everybody a 2-week or a 4-week, or sometimes a 5-week, because sometimes it would be longer than just 2 weeks for them to recover. If you had to do that for 16 different people, and all were making decent money. I am not going to ever claim that we paid the most out of all the businesses around here, but I think our work environment, for the most part, made up for the difference. At least that was my take on it. Maybe not everybody's take on it. I completely understand that. But the reality is that from day to day, we didn't know what was going to happen. And I was sitting at home. It was like a Saturday morning. I was sitting at home and I was scrolling on social media. I don't consume any media other than like social media, so I'm not like watching the news through all of this. I never watched any of the news, but you cannot ignore what's going on, because you're going to see posts, you're going to see things on social media, and I'm going to hear things. I heard things from team members and stuff, and so each day we had no idea what was going to happen. Well, one day, kind of at the height of this uncertainty, I was at home and I saw one little post on Facebook, and all of a sudden I felt like I couldn't breathe, and my heart started racing. And thankfully, because of some of the books I've read and training I've taken, I kind of knew what I should do. And so I did what I thought I should do, which is I laid down, I closed my eyes, and just started meditating and started changing the thoughts in my brain. I was able to regain control of my breathing. I was able to slow my heart rate down. And from that point on, I never had another panic attack over that particular situation. But what I found, because I was so used to living above this line, stress-wise, that it took smaller amounts of things that would put me into that state. So, I get somebody has a little minor fender bender in their truck, and I get this bad news, and my body would just react like I couldn't control it. Until it happened. Like, it would happen, my heart would start racing, I'd start getting nervous, I'd start sweating, I'd start feeling like I'm having a heart attack, I couldn't breathe. And then I was able to, as soon as I recognized that, I would say, okay, I just need to breathe, I need to close my eyes and relax, and I would regain control. But my point is that my body would go into that way easier. And the reason that this was happening is because I lived under far too much stress in my business for far too many years. And it was that accumulation effect, kind of like the carbon monoxide building up in your bloodstream. So if you want to make sure that this doesn't happen to you, then you cannot be carrying all this stress for so many years, because it will eventually affect you physiologically. So in order to do that, one of the things that helps is to focus on the main things in your business and let everything else fall to the wayside. At least for now. You can pick it up later, but stop trying to juggle 15 things at once. Just pick 1 to 3 things to juggle, and that's it. And do your best to delegate, automate, or eliminate all of the rest. My business partner has gone through the same thing, and she actually had adrenal fatigue, where different systems in your body just start shutting down. You're not meant to handle a distress for long periods of time. They talk about how a deer in the woods gets spooked. Well, they have this heightened level of stress that tells them, I need to get out of this area, whatever the case. But once they get out of that area, then they move back into homeostasis, back to a normal state of being without stress. Where human beings, because we are more sophisticated and we have brains and we're intelligent beings, more intelligent, we bring that with us. We bring those experiences with us into the future, which can exponentially compound the amount of stress that we feel in different situations, just because we have references and experiences to draw on from previous things that happened to us. So you have to be very careful with this. I hope you guys will listen to this. I hope you'll make sure to put some stuff down. Just focus on what you can focus on. Stop trying to juggle it all. No matter what you do, it's not going to happen as fast as you think you would like it to happen anyways. It takes time. It always takes time. No success happens overnight. It may feel that way or seem that way within today's society and what you see on social media, but it's not true. It's false. There were years of planning or hundreds and hundreds of hours that you're not seeing behind the scenes that got that success. So I think that can be healthy in a certain amount, but like I said, you've got to keep your mind right, keep your body right, take care of yourself first so that you can continue to grow and expand yourself. And that's going to allow you the opportunity to take a lot of other people with you and take care of them and their families as well. So love you guys. Go make money. Oh, also check out the challenge we're doing. It's next week. You're running out of time. So jump on. It's next week. It starts Monday. Hope to see you there. The link is in the description. Go make money. Boom.